Thank you for your coming. My name is Dmitry, and I will talk about OSM Gazetteer. It's a project which mainly focused on obtaining data from OpenStreetMap files. What's the problem? What's the problems with our current geocoder, with nominatim, and with addresses in OpenStreetMap? Actually, we don't have a good tool to create simple data extras from our data. Sometimes it's very often situation when somebody came to the OpenStreetMap forum and asks us about, do you have a CSV file with addresses and coordinates, or do you have a list of all your POIs with coordinates and addresses too? And actually, we say no. You should install nominatim. You should upload your planet file. You should make some crawling from nominatim, and finally you will have a simple CSV file with a few addresses. Another problem that it really takes a lot of time and a lot of memory. When you try to upload a planet file to the PostGIS, it takes about 2 days and 1 day for creating index and even some more time. It's good if you can keep planet database and update it with a rolling updates. But I can't afford me to keep such database on my regular laptop. And our users too, they just don't want to do that. And I can understand them. Also, there is a very complicated ways to add some new features to the nominatim, because you need to have a good knowledge of SQL. You need to know PostGIS, and it's really different to create a really good geospatial query. Also, we have very poor indexed by Bing or Google. For example, we have all kids' playground in every country, actually, but nobody knows about it, and nobody ever can find any POI in OpenStreetMap using Bing or Google. So it's what about I'm talking. I'm already said. But we have a really great experience with map conversion for different GPS devices. Actually, it takes about several hours to create, to convert map data for dozens of formats of mobile GPS devices formats. And we have a really great community, and it's, for example, for Russia, with we use, it takes 2 or 3 hours to create such conversion. So my idea was to use the same approach for addresses data indexing. So if I try to ask you to help me with addresses indexing, and I say that you should install PostGIS, you should install some languages to upload data to the PostGIS, and it will take about 1 day. You say, no, sorry, we can't help you. So I drop PostGIS. I used just Java. So indexing of country, it's about, what you need is just one jar file, and they do all the job for you. And at the end, you can take JSON or even simpler CSV with the addresses. It's highly customizable and so on. And it's really fast. As I think it's about 3 hours for Russia or 3 hours for Great Britain. And if you have 20 people in a community, you can convert whole planet for 3 hours and upload them to the Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch also can be distributed. It's really simple to add a new node to the Elasticsearch cluster. And thanks to Elasticsearch, I also have fast completion, suggestions, misspelling correcting, and you can use API to get a JSON or XML, or also it's possible to create plain HTML with a micro tagging for such giants like Google or Bing. And also I can create sitemaps XML with the differences between two data sets that you can easily say for the world that you have a new data in your search index. So that's hosted on a GitHub. It's open source. So I'm actually looking for some collaboration to make it even more easier to use and that you can just run a client and they will do all the job for you. And I can show you a small live demo. It's not so sexy as Pelias or another one, but it's actually it's not a primary part of my job. It's just for you to show how it can be. So there is actually two parts. One part using to create index, and after you create index, you upload them to the Elasticsearch, and after that you can search for this data. So it's how it looks like. So this is example of what we talk about. So also, I think that it's important that find so much data as you can, and when you search among this data, just use a good filtering and matching. So, for example, I keep not the only matched city. I also kept nearest city and some neighbor city, so you can use some kind of fuzzy searching in terms of location. Then you can't actually remember the exact city where your street or something is located. So that's nearby places, and there will be some highways in such city. So here it is. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Dmitry. So, do you have questions?
So, can it show a list of all buildings on a particular street?
Can you repeat your question?
So you showed us a list of highways.
Okay.
Let's pick up a highway and see the list of all buildings on this highway. I mean, in general, is it possible?
I'm not sure that there is a list of buildings, or maybe
In general, is it possible?
Of course, it's possible, but I'm not sure about this exact highway. Maybe I could try another one highway, which is my favorite. So also, I think there will be no buildings. Okay, addresses. So, for example, it's somewhere in Ukraine. Also, I kept all translations for addresses and all full translations. If there is a translation for street, region, and country. So here is addresses which are related to this street. This is exact matching, and this is just buildings that are nearby this street. And also there is some buoys which are connected to this street.
Further questions? Okay, I'm curious, have you tried to run it on the complete planet?
It's not the way how I think about this program. If I ever try to upload whole planet, I will try it piece by piece, from one country to another country to another country. And it's not about just the resources. It's about local traits of addressing and local traits of OpenStreetMap data. Every step of processing can be overridden, and for most of them you can do it rather easily. So, for example, for Russia we have some kind of special configuration that treats our addresses better than for other countries, because I know how addresses in our country looks like. And for another country, I think there is a good community who knows how the addresses looks like. So we will just create a special configuration for such country, but still we have one format for Elasticsearch, and use them as start point.
Okay, yeah. So localization again. Okay, if there are no further questions, then I'd close the session. Thank you very much. Thank you to the speakers.